I'm hitting record as well, Kevin, because I know how to hit buttons.
I do too. Hold on. I'm going to get the arrow off of that button. Every once in a while, I go back in, like we're talking and I go into GarageBand and I see that the arrow is hovering over the record button and I panic and I'm like, touch the mouse pad lightly. Don't fuck this up. It's like a Mission Impossible moment. I'm like Tom Cruise. Real low stakes Mission Impossible. Like
the final reckoning.
The final. Dude. Thoughts on the final reckoning before we even get into it. Like thoughts, like it's the last movie. Like I'm not even a huge fan, but I'm like, wow, that really is kind of the end of an era.
Yeah, like I remember, right? I started on Mission Impossible. I saw the third one in theaters, and that's where I started.
Yeah.
The
third one's the best. It's
disagree.
Banger.
The fourth one's the best. Ghost Protocol, where he climbs that building in Dubai. That one's the best.
I think that's one of the best stunts, but I think the third one's the best because of Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Well, I mean,
because in those movies, the bad guy makes the movies. Like,
Philip
let's
Seymour
be
Hoffman's
real.
Incredible.
When they have a bad guy who's not as like bad, right? Like it's not as good a movie because the whole point of the movie is there's a direct opposition to the team.
And that's the problem with these new ones is the enemy is an AI chip at the bottom of a submarine.
The enemy is a chatbot.
It is
fucking.
Ethan Hunt, are you satisfied with your death? Yes or no? Yes.
Exactly. Well, speaking of low stakes Mission Impossible, like the final scene is going to be him playing like Minesweeper on on an old like Windows DOS, like just fucking. It's like, all right, if I pick the wrong one, we blow up the fucking world.
Ethan, you have to use your incredible charm to ask it a question that will fry its circuits because it can't answer it.
And we're going to repel you from a rope for
while
no
things
fucking
are exploding.
Reason. Yeah.
And you're holding your breath.
No I mean, some of the stunts are like completely superfluous, right? Like, but that's the point.
They're great.
It's like you're like, it's, I know that like, it's the one movie franchise where I feel like, regardless of the fact that it's set in reality, I'm constantly suspending disbelief anyway. I don't care. Like when I'm watching them, I'm not like that would never happen. I'm like, it's fucking Ethan Hunt. This is what happens to Ethan Hunt. Like
Ethan Hunt.
Have you not been paying attention? Literally, helicopters blow up after he gets a message. Like this is this universe. I think it's funny because suspension of disbelief is such a fickle thing now, like because like there are so many things that get written into movies and TV, whether intentional or unintentional, that just like they feel so real anyway. Like AI becoming the enemy is like, yeah, cool. It feels kind of a trope right now, but also like there's a part of it where you're like, yeah, but maybe, yeah, but maybe,
but maybe.
Yeah, I don't know when GPT is gonna take over. Like, but it feels like it might. I have a vacuous feeling that a lot of people are gonna give up their voting rights to an LLM, and like, if not an MLM before that, and then we're just gonna have computers running the world. Like, I feel like the digital uploaded consciousness of Mark Zuckerberg is the future enemy. Like that's where I am at this point. I'm like, that is a plausible enemy for us to have to fight. And I don't know if we'll win because you would have to convince everybody to log off social media.
Or we would all have to get really good at Minesweeper.
Oh, that would be sick.
To take it
Hell
down.
yeah.
You had to beat it in Minesweeper.
Let's do that now while we play the intro music.
Play Minesweeper?
Hell yeah.
I'm already playing.
Oh, shit.
In my head.
I'm behind. In your head. Are you a computer? Episode 79, Odie's a computer. I think we're on 79. I may be wrong. I might be
69.
Nah, we did it. We did it.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't do anything special for it.
No, we didn't. We didn't even 69 for that.
Oh,
damn it. You ready to clap?
No.
Okay, great. I can wait. See ya. Are you going to get your coffee? It's Odie's coffee delivery time. That's Odie's coffee delivery time. He does this every fucking week now. 'Cause he orders his coffee. It probably costs a lot extra. I make it in an origami. Cost me about the same that it costs all those stupid fucks who buy cheap coffee at Dunkin' Donuts or Stewart's. And I can't tell you how many people are telling me that Stewart's and Dunkin' Donuts coffee, it's pretty good. You know, it's good for what it is, for what it's worth. Listen, it costs the same amount, you fucks, for me to make a large cup of coffee in my American flag coffee mug every week that it costs you to buy Stewart's every morning. Like, it's you're a schmuck is what I'm saying. You don't have time and effort to put into your coffee.
Who's a schmuck?
And so I'm his.
Me?
I went on a coffee rant. Okay. So we've been over this. I am an undiagnosed
coffee
person
snob.
with. Well, yes, I'm a diagnosed coffee snob with undiagnosed whatever the fuck's going on in my brain. I don't care. I don't care. But I went on a little brain tangent because I was thinking about your coffee being delivered. I assume that's what just happened.
Yes, because
Great,
I didn't have time
wonderful
this
use of
morning.
podcast time.
Yeah, it is, honestly. Thank you. I appreciate you for validating my efforts here.
But then I went on a small tangent because there are many people that I come across who view me as a coffee snob or someone who I'm not even a coffee gatekeeper. Like, people are like, I like Dunkin'. I'm like, that's fine.
No, that's not
Like,
fine, Kevin.
If
They
you
shouldn't
give
like Dunkin'.
if you give me Dunkin', I'm gonna not be as excited and visibly not as excited.
It's like when you get like food on Christmas morning in one of your presents. It's like, here's some popcorn. It's like
It's like if someone gave me popcorn on. Actually, I would. Well, the popcorn that people give on Christmas is pretty fucking good sometimes. So it depends on the popcorn, right? But like, it's like if someone bought me McDonald's, right? Like, if I'm hungry and someone buys me McDonald's, I'm not gonna be like, I'm not eating that crap. Like, I'm gonna be like, thank you. Also, next time, maybe ask me first because I might not like that. But it's same thing with like Dunkin' Donuts or Stewart's. Like, I'm never gonna be mad that somebody gave me that coffee. I'm going to be like, thank you for the coffee. I enjoy coffee, you know, but like
never your first choice.
Well, so on an average month, I end up spending the same or less, actually, I've done the math on this, on good coffee that people spend buying Stewart's or Dunkin' every day. If not, like, and a lot of times less. Like, a lot of times the answer is actually less because, like, I crunch the math, and if you're going there even just every weekday, even if you make coffee for yourself on the weekends, even if you went there just, like, 18 days out of the month because you were working or traveling or whatever, I spend less on my coffee because I make it at home. Yeah. And it's better quality, which is, like, to me, people, this is like a thing that we do in modern, the first world, right? It's like, well, we justify convenience spend with, well, you know, it's pretty good. Like,
yeah, I agree with
like,
that.
I feel like pretty good is such a weird bar. Yeah.
It really is. I mean, typically my Saturday routine before the podcast is I take my dog to Dutch Bros and he gets a pup cup and I get a coffee, and that's usually like one of my few coffees that I buy during the week. And I say few, more like two. This morning, I didn't want to do that. How
much does it cost to buy a coffee at Dutch Bros?
It's like $5 and some change.
For a coffee?
A coffee.
Which kind of coffee are you getting?
It's called the Golden Eagle. It's like half and half coffee, caramel, vanilla.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. And you get 2 of those a week.
Yeah, and I already know the breakdown cost of doing like with the ingredients at my home. It makes it like, I think I did the math. It's like less than $2 a cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did the math on mine. I spend roughly $1.62 per cup of coffee.
It's not bad.
That's a big cup. That's 2 cups.
That's phenomenal.
Cup, right? Yeah, that's good. If we were going by actual cups, like who wants to measure coffee in actual cups though? If we're going by actual cups, like 8 ounces, I'm spending almost half that, a little over half that, which is wild. Welcome back to the Unpop Podcast.
Oh, yeah.
For all your coffee crunching needs, coffee accounting crunching needs, coffee number crunching needs. Anyway, welcome back to the Unpop Podcast. I am your Capitan and host, Todo El Siempre, Kevin Miner. With me, as always, is
Odie Matthews, the chef,
Yes.
cooking up content.
Yes.
They, them.
So, perfect. You nailed it. Wow.
Perfect.
Good job.
It's my
Applause.
Howard Stern.
I'm putting applause in here for you. Wait, did you say Howard Stern?
That was
Are
my
we doing
Howard Stern
now?
impression.
What's the Howard Stern impression?
What I just
Do it
did.
again.
Odie
Okay.
Matthews, the chef, cooking up content.
Oh yeah, no, he does that, right?
He does, like,
starts higher
raises and
and
lowers,
lowers, yeah, all the time. Yeah. He's got a very good voice for like just keeping minimum engagement until like the crazy thing happens on the show, you know?
Yeah.
Great interviewer though, epic,
Yeah.
really. I mean, would podcasts exist without Howard Stern? Probably.
Probably. Because we had the Orson Welles War of the Worlds audio cast back in the day. That was the first podcast.
That is pretty banger, actually. I kind of love that. That was an epic thing, and like people freaked out over that.
That's
Do you
incredible.
remember? I love that it was like it was so well produced that people literally lost their minds and thought the War of the Worlds was actually happening. Like what a fucking like. Not only was that the first podcast, that was like the first Jamie Kennedy experience.
Wow. Wasn't he in The Mask too?
I don't know.
I think he is in The Mask too.
I know nothing about The Mask 2. I never want to know anything about The Mask 2.
Jamie Kennedy is the one in The Mask too. Or is he in Tremors?
I don't care.
I think he's in both.
I don't care.
Anyways, what are we talking about today, Kevin?
So many things because you
Jamie
didn't have a particular thing to talk about. So
I have all the movies coming out.
all right. Yeah. Well, so let's get into that first. Take us through it, Odie. You've got this lovely, let's call it a gumbo of trailers.
It's a gumbo.
I'm always referring to this as gumbos. You know what? You tell me what food you're making this week and what it's comprised of.
We're going to have a charcuterie board of surprises coming out
That's
next year.
so much better.
Thank you. That's why I'm the chef. That's why I'm the chef.
Gumbo is nothing compared to charcuterie. This is why you're the chef.
Because on this charcuterie platter, so basically to kind of let everybody know, most of the good movies this year are done.
They've come out. We're in December,
here.
so yes.
So if you're looking forward to Craven, hey, that's fine.
I am.
I am
that
too.
That man lives life like I want to live.
Dude, I'm not
shirtless.
being sarcastic. I actually am like legitimately excited for Craven.
I thought about Craven last night because I was literally shirtless in my giant faux fur coat. And I was like, this is a very Craven moment. Yeah, all right, cool.
You know what? You should be Craven for Halloween next year, and I'll dress up as Spider-Man.
That would be sick, actually.
And then you just chase me around.
I'm totally into that. I'll be like, get back here, Spider-Man. I think that's what he sounds like.
Thwip.
All right, so Craven's coming out. What else is coming out before the end of this year?
Yeah,
War
I
of
was going to
Rohirrim.
say, because the rest of our episodes this year are going to be kind of us wrapping up the year.
Except for War of Rohirrim.
Right, which is coming out. So what's left this year to come out? Big movies that are left. Craven the Hunter. Lord of the Rings, The War of Rohirrim. Which,
hell yeah.
I am excited for that one as well.
Hell yeah. I'm so
Sonic
excited
the
about
Hedgehog 3, which I am super excited for. I low-key love
cool.
the Sonic movies.
Yeah.
That Mufasa Lion King movie, which you couldn't give me tickets to go see.
The one where it turns out Mufasa's actually the bad guy?
Yeah. I literally get free tickets to the movies, and I still wouldn't go see that.
Disney was like, what if we did a villain origin story for a hero?
No.
Nobody wants this. Nobody wants this, Disney.
And then the last one would be Nosferatu, the Willem
Oh,
Dafoe.
Yes.
That one looks good too.
Yes. I hope that is the sleeper movie of the year, and like just like last year, a movie that comes out in December just trounces everything else. I don't think that's going to happen because Wicked is crushing it, but
Moana 2 is now crushing Wicked.
Is it?
Did you hear about Moana 2's records? I don't think
No.
we talked. Oh, we didn't talk about this last weekend because we wouldn't have known.
Hit me. Yeah, hit me.
Biggest preview night ever for Disney. 13.5 million in previews the day before it came out.
Yeah.
It had the biggest Black Friday weekending ever, the biggest Thanksgiving weekend ever, and it's one of the biggest releases for Disney ever.
That's huge. I think okay, what do you take away from that? Because I have thoughts on that.
My takeaway is that's super awesome because I love Moana. I talked about it.
Yeah.
I love Moana.
Yeah.
That worries me because now, given how, I don't want to say lackluster, but given how much of somewhat of a disappointment this sequel is as a follow-up to the incredible first one.
Yeah.
Still a good movie, but it's pretty lackluster for a sequel. My worry is now that they're just going to be like, well, we'll just make a third one, and it's going to be kind of the same thing.
Yeah, pretty good is a weird bar.
Pretty good's a weird bar.
Pretty good's a weird bar. But here's what I think from this, and from only having seen the first, and hearing from you, someone who loves the first, that the second was okay and not the best sequel. I think, one, great. I think that should signal that other movies from Disney that are in this vein of like family friendly, that's the perfect time to release it. Really, like that's what that is.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh my God, I can bring my kids to the movies and get them to shut up for like 3 hours during their Thanksgiving break. Great. Let's do that.
So
please.
many people talked about going to take their kids to Moana 2 the week it came out.
Of course, because you can get them to shut up. Like who doesn't want that, right?
You can tell we don't have kids.
It's a double function. No, you can tell that I'm around people who have kids that are more than happy to bring their kids to the movie and get them to shut up.
Absolutely.
All right, or not.
Or not.
But hopefully. But anyway, so like I think that Disney is going to take the wrong lesson
they always
from this.
do.
And I think they're going to go, "Oh, okay. So live action Moana comes out and live action Moana 2 comes out." I don't think they're going to dip back into the animated. I think they're going to go, how about The Rock on Thanksgiving? Like that's what I think they're going to do.
I also think that this is going to get us like sequels. Like I think this is going to push for like Tangled 2, which might be fine.
Or like Moana with The Rock, and then instead of even doing the sequel, The Rock, who notably just tanks. Yes. On Thanksgiving,
I could totally
they'll be like,
see that.
"How about you go see Maui on Thanksgiving?"
You know what? Okay, here's what I would like to see happen. Here's what I bet would happen if it went down this road. I would love to see Moana come back as a TV show because I think that would be incredible for me.
Way cooler.
Here's what would happen if they did that. It would come back as a TV show, and it'd be a TV show about Maui.
Yeah. Somebody pointed out that Wicked was originally supposed to be a gritty television show starring Selma Hayek, and I was like. Yeah, you could still do that. That's fine. I'd watch it. But anyway, yeah, I think Disney's just going to get the wrong message from that. But
when they make lots of money, they always do.
I'm glad. Once similar to my take on coffee and stuff. I'm glad that's happening for people. Pretty good's a weird bar.
Well, okay, here's the best example real quick because I really like this story about Disney taking the wrong message. We're going to talk about Skeleton Crew, and you know me, big Star Wars fan.
Yep.
We both share a very similar opinion that is not widely shared among Star Wars fans, and that's that we both really love the Solo movie.
Love it. My favorite film.
A lot of Star Wars fans don't love it because they're the opposite of you, which they love more Jedi. You like less Jedi. I like it in between. I like stories with. I like stories without. Give me a little bit of both. Solo is look, I don't care. It's a fucking phenomenal movie. I agree. It is so fucking good.
Front
it
to
is
back.
Cast so well. It is shot beautifully. I mean, it's a really, really good movie. And the lesson that Disney took when it didn't do well wasn't, instead of hiring 2 directors that did 21 and 22 Jump Street and then firing them when the movie is 90% complete, doubling the budget to hire Ron Howard and finish this movie, making the movie end up being over $400 million to make, which is insane. It's the most expensive Star Wars movie ever. Instead of taking the lesson of not firing directors or lowering the budget or anything, they went, Star Wars Solo spinoff movies don't do well. Let's cancel all the other ones we had plans, including Obi-Wan, which caused a huge uproar. And then Obi-Wan eventually came back as a mediocre TV show. So Disney, not only did they take the wrong lessons, when they end up applying them, it makes everything worse.
I also blame the fan base for that too.
Oh, absolutely.
Because when Solo came out, people were like, It's so low stakes. You know who's gonna survive.
It's
So
not
low
my
stakes.
Harrison
That's funny.
Ford. Shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
Shut
and
up.
It's so dumb.
Alden
like,
Ehrenreich was incredible as Han Solo.
He
Bring
crushed
him back.
it.
Bring
And
him
not
back
only-
with the Lando series.
not only that, Paul Bettany's like one of my favorite villains in Star Wars ever. He
Emilia
crushed
Clarke,
it.
she's incredible.
So good. Everybody was so good. And
Yeah.
even I didn't even roll my eyes at the Darth Maul reveal at the end.
Oh, I
was like,
loved
you know
that.
what? I was like, you know what? That's fine. Cause like that to me was them setting up, hey, there's a circumstance that these people are not going to be able to just get out of, because that's an insurmountable bad guy for these normal people. You know, like that's a dude who is like a proper boogeyman that like there's no winning, there's just escaping from. You know, like I was like, this looks great. Like, and not only that, there's like a droid revolution in the middle of it in the mining world. Like, fucking awesome. Like, Donald Glover and his weird pansexual relationship with the robot. Like, love it. Everything about it. So good.
100%.
Yeah. And they did take the wrong message, and there should be another Solo movie. But ultimately, you know, we're going to talk about it later, but Star Wars is a space fantasy setting, right? So it's a sci-fi fantasy setting, or rather space fantasy, because the magic of the Jedis makes it so. And it just so happens for me, I think that the magic of the Jedis is like, it's so dumb, because like when you make a story centralized around the most powerful beings in the universe or multiverse, Marvel fatigue, right? But like when you do that over and over again, it's fatigue. I think the fatigue I feel when a Jedi comes on screen, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Everyone survives now. Got it.
It depends on the era, because
Yeah.
I agree with you. But if we got a story that was like during like the Old Republic, where Jedi are, you know, they're at their peak, and it's kind of before the New Republic, where they turned into like diplomats and like senators with lightsabers.
Yeah.
Like if we got stuff where it was like Jedis are essentially like the normal soldiers, because back in the Old Republic, you know, Jedis were just as common as like foot soldiers, not a 1-to-1 scale, but like they were more common. There was a ton more Jedi around.
Yeah.
And I think in that kind of setting, when you have a bunch of them and you kind of depower them a little bit, it's fine. But when you have like, I think my problem with Star Wars right now is the fact that like everything is either set between the prequel and the original trilogy, or it's set 5 years after Return of the Jedi. And when Jedis show up in those time periods, there's not a lot that you can do with it, because how did they survive? Where are they going to die? Where were they during this fight? Like there's
I don't know when Skeleton Crew is set.
5 years after Return of the Jedi.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well,
Right around the Mandalorian time.
Oh, weird. Okay. Anyway,
because here's my theory with that.
Jude Law and the Mandalorian team up.
Well, kind of, because so Book of Boba Fett,
sick,
the
actually.
Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew, and all the characters in that are all gonna probably team up for the Dave Filoni directed movie where they go after Thrawn.
Oh yeah. Oh, Thrawn. He sounds like he's a giant shrimp, like a space shrimp, which is really funny because he got taken away by giant space whales. So like, I'm like, that's a very shrimp thing to do, sir. All right, okay. What are our previews?
Let's talk about 2025, and then we'll talk about Star Wars.
Let's backtrack. Yep. All right.
You can't talk if you bring up Star Wars. I'm gonna tangent. You know it.
Same, apparently.
I'm infesting everybody in my life with Star Wars.
It took all of my will to not tangent on the Lord of the Rings part. All right, keep going.
Well, no, let's just kick off 2025.
Lord of the Rings. No.
A few of these, not a few. I would say up until like probably August, some of these already have teaser trailers. Some of these aren't going to, but that's okay, because a lot of these are. Next year's a mixed bags, Kevin. It's a mixed bag.
It's a real grab bag of sorts.
And
you don't know what you're gonna get. There might be Reese's in there. There might be the weird waxy type jelly bean candies that nobody likes. There might be black licorice in there, which is, I mean, that's a real hot take. Like, it's a real divisive candy. It depends on the day. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh, I haven't had that.
I don't mind
in a while.
black jelly bean every once.
And some days
in a
I'm
while.
like, I'm not into that today.
Agreed.
Right, keep going.
January. And I'm not going to do specific dates. I'm just doing it by months. I'm not going to be like January 10th and then January 12th. Fuck that. So in January, we have Den of Thieves 2. Have you seen the trailer for this in the movies?
What is Den of Thieves?
Okay, so this is really funny to me. Den of Thieves came out years ago. It's a Jerry Butler movie, and it was the guy that plays Master Chief in the Halo show and
Yes.
Ice Cube's son.
Yes.
And
Okay. Yes.
The movie is basically Jerry Butler and his team are like they're really corrupt cops that are trying to stop a bank robber, and like they're corrupt in the sense that they use like undocumented like reasons and methods and stuff. And that whole movie is at the end. Ice Cube's son gets away, but all the other bank robbers die, and like Jerry Butler basically like saves the day. And then in this new one, he's just gonna like be bad and be a robber. Like it looks
Jerry
so
Butler's
dumb.
just gonna be bad.
Jerry Butler's just gonna be a bad guy now.
Are they just doing? But maybe they're just doing the Vin Diesel thing, where it's like he's bad now, and then like at the end he's like, family.
It kind of feels like, yeah. Anyways, it looks bad. I'm gonna go see it.
All right, cool, great.
Also. This isn't gonna get a theatrical release,
I'm gonna
but
pass.
I've got to mention this.
I'm gonna give you my normal scale of like excited, whatever, pass. Like,
Smash or pass.
I'm smashing or passing on these. All right.
Are you excited for the Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare, which is a part of the fairy tale nightmare universe that follows Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and all the other ones they're creating for low budget?
Pass.
Yeah, me too.
Wait, is Peter Pan public domain now?
It's like they're doing like Peter Pan. Pinocchio, Winnie the Pooh.
Did those all become public domain in the past year?
I don't know how
That's
they're
fucking
doing it,
wild.
but they're literally making an evil Avengers of these characters. So it's gonna be like Pinocchio and Winnie Pooh and all of them teaming up to kill people.
That's dumb.
Yeah,
pass.
Can't wait.
I will pass on all of those movies always.
I won't. I'll wait for somebody else to talk about them, how I like talk about movies, and then I'll watch that video.
Yeah. Same.
And then Wolfman comes out in January. The
Smash.
That movie looks incredible. The guy that did Invisible
so
Man.
Funny doing Smash or Pass
I love it.
with these.
What else comes out in January?
I feel like Markiplier when he was doing the fucking Pokemon.
That's kind of where I got the idea.
Which
Smash.
is like one of. Why is that video so entertaining? Can we just answer that question real quick?
Because it's Markiplier.
Just a grown man telling you whether or not he would have sex with Pokemon, but I can't not watch it. Like I've never watched another Markiplier video. I have not seen any other video. I've only seen that one, and I saw it incidentally. Someone else was watching it, and I was like, "What are you watching?" He's like, "Smash or Pass with Pokemon, Markiplier," and I was like, "That sounds stupid." And 5 minutes later, it was like, "Oh, okay. Is he gonna smash or pass this one?"
You know what the bad thing about that video is?
I can't believe he smashed Voltorb.
Dude, there is a guy on TikTok. I'm pretty sure this account got banned. I don't have TikTok anymore. I deleted my account and deleted the app. I was like, I'm done with this. It's
good for you.
Brain rot. Yeah, it's been weeks.
You walked away from a dumpster fire.
I did. But there was this guy that would roll.
Yeah.
And his whole thing was that he would wank to photos of Pokemon and time himself on how long it takes him to finish that task.
And then report.
And then he would, and I'm like, you took the wrong message from the Smash or Pass video.
Yeah, that's like, wild.
Also in January, we get a weird, have you seen the preview for the Mark Wahlberg, he's on a plane with a toupee, but he's really an evil guy movie?
Yes, pass.
Yeah, pass. Flight risk.
I'll pass on almost every Mark Wahlberg film.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
agreed.
just like a rule of thumb at this point.
Fucking agreed. Okay, February.
He's not that great.
I've never been a big Mark Wahlberg fan.
What was that movie that he was in where he was a Philadelphia Eagle, Unbreakable or something? Right?
Invincible.
Invincible.
Where he
that was
plays
the
for the
last
Eagles?
one where I really actually thought he was okay. I was like, you know what, this is good.
Ooh, okay. I like Mark Wahlberg movies. I like that one. I like Deepwater Horizon with the oil rig explosion for BP.
I don't like that one, but go.
Really?
Go ahead. Keep going. Yep.
And I kind of like Patriots Day, as you know, Boston has a special place in my heart.
That actually, you know what? That is a really good movie.
His character is a combination of like a few real life people, but I think overall they kind of did that pretty well.
That was a really good historical fiction. I was like, wow, it was well done.
Peter Berg is the guy that did like a lot of these true life stories with Mark Wahlberg. They did like Lone Survivor, Deepwater Horizon, Patriot. They do a lot of these like real life story ones.
I feel like that's a movie where it was good because of the direction.
Oh
too.
yeah.
So yeah. Okay. Keep going.
Peter Berg is actually going to be on Magnum Opus this week or next week.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I did one of his movies, one of his early movies. Anyways, February we have Ke Huy Quan from
Hwai Kwan.
Thank you. He's doing his like action comedy old man like John Wick style movie called Love Hurts. Looks really good. I'm actually kind of excited for it. It's got
Oh, cool. Yeah. No, that sounds good.
It's got Ariana DeBois and Sean Astin's in it. Like it looks pretty good.
Is it Du Bois or
also
Dubois?
in February we get Captain America: The Bird Fights the Hulk. Brave New World. That one.
Wait, is that Phase 4?
4, 5, 7, 10. Who knows?
Wait, Anthony Mackie
Yeah, it's the Captain America 4. Anthony Mackie Harrison
fights
Ford.
Mark Ruffalo?
He fights. Harrison Ford's the president now, and he's Red Hulk.
Oh, wait, is that before we get the Thunderbolts?
Yes.
Okay, all right, cool.
I think Captain America 4 is like the first one in the new phase. I don't know. I lost track.
That makes sense because it all started with Captain America originally.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna say this a dubious smash for that.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm gonna go see it.
I'm gonna see it. Here's why I'm really interested.
This
in
is
it.
a smash that I'm uncertain about.
A few people have said that like the test screenings didn't go well, and they're constantly re-editing it, and it had a bunch of reshoots, and I'm like, the first trailer I saw made me want to see it, with the ticking like tick 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 tick, and it was like the text on screen and stuff. Like,
yeah.
The movie looks good.
I'm also interested in seeing like Falcon America like do this fucking thing.
His flights looked cool.
Yeah. All right, keep going.
That's pretty much it for February. I don't recognize
cool.
any of these other ones.
Great.
Yeah. So we
any
go
directors that you recognize in February? Maybe. Maybe any art house films coming out. You see any A24 directors? Feel free to throw those in there.
Yeah, nothing.
Okay.
There's a Zachary Levi movie we could go see.
I'll tell you what's happening in February. I'm playing Benny in Rent.
I thought you okay. I had been sitting on, when we got through everything, I was going to wait for a moment to come up where I could ask you, have you paid your rent, or did this person pay their
shut up.
Yeah, I was gonna,
yeah, that would have been lame.
You're playing
now I
Benny.
did it, and it's not lame.
Correct. You did it in the best way possible.
Yeah. All right, cool.
In March, speaking of like some indie kind of movies, have you heard of the movie Sinners? It's a Ryan Coogler film, who I love Ryan Coogler. Feudal Station with Michael B. Jordan, Black Panther. It's Haley Steinfeld and Michael B. Jordan, funny enough. It's the basically brothers return back to their hometown to discover that like there's an evil there and everything. It's a horror movie. It looks like the teaser looks really good.
Look, all you have to say is Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld horror movie, and I'm just like, I have to see this now.
Yes.
Like,
it sounds
this
good.
is intriguing.
Your favorite movie, and I know you're most anticipated for next year.
Yes.
Snow White with Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot.
Actually?
No.
Actually,
No.
though? But actually?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm going to go see it.
Because I know about, like, some of the comments behind the scenes about the story and just how Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot are as human beings. Absolutely not. I hate both of them.
Maybe they'll sing together, and that's what they've always wanted to offer us. Is
maybe
singing
they'll both
together.
sing together, and that
Rachel
will make up for all their
Zegler
comments.
And maybe. I honestly, so this is like another Disney live action. Maybe a little bit more gritty than the original. Here's what I'm gonna pay to see. One, Gal Gadot be as ugly as, hopefully as ugly as Colin Farrell was as the Penguin in The Penguin, because that's amazing. Because come on, like how. Like, I'm always interested to see how you make people ugly, right? Like, like you're taking this actor or actress who's like known for being like impeccably good looking, and then going, yeah, let's slap a bunch of prosthetics.
Do you
on
want a
them.
hot take?
Yeah, hit me.
Gal Gadot is a terrible actress.
That's not a hot take.
I know.
What has she done where like people are like, she's phenomenal and deserves an Oscar?
Red Notice.
Like, nothing.
I'm just kidding.
What? Get out
the Ryan Reynolds rock movie.
Oh yes, Red Notice, famously the best movie ever. Red Notice. Yes.
Yeah. Look,
okay.
Gal Gadot has just made a lot of with what's going on in like between Israel and Gaza. She's just made some really like horrific comments, and
I'm not going into the movie with that though. Like I'm literally, I don't feel like I'm putting money in a political party's pockets by seeing a Disney film.
No, and I
don't get into that wormhole though. Please.
No, I don't feel like
can
that.
of
But
worms.
it's hard for me to. Well, for one, like, it's not hard for me to not watch this movie because I'm not interested in it. But like, because the two leads are people that like I don't really want to support.
That suck. Yeah.
I don't really care.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Yeah.
I
don't care the other way. Like, I'm not paying attention to anything that they're saying. I'm just like, oh, it's a movie? Okay, cool.
And that's totally fair. But the comment from Rachel Zegler that I went like, are you kidding me? She was like interviewed about it, and she's like, this isn't going to be your stereotypical like damsel in distress, the prince comes and saves Snow White story. And I'm like, that's not.
But that's the story.
But that's also not the original story.
No, the original story is like, it's much darker. Anyway.
Well, yeah, because they were like,
but the prince does have to wake her up from her sleep.
The thing is
with
all these Disney, and we've talked about this
it's
before.
True Love's kiss.
We've talked about this before with the Peter Pan movie that you saw, where fighting the really bad one that came out. Like,
oh yeah.
The thing
the
is,
one
like,
where that had what's his name as Hook.
Yes.
Was that Jude Law?
I think it was, wasn't it?
Shit, I fucking love Jude Law. Anyway.
But like you get this thing where you're gonna retell this story, and you're like, well, we're not going to tell it the original way because the original way was like misogynistic or it was like, racist or whatever. And it's like,
oh, no. You're talking about Pan and Jane or whatever.
Oh,
yeah,
Pan and Mary.
Pan and Mary. That was sick, actually. That was good. Whatever it was.
No, but we talked about how they got rid of certain things in the original story and like how Disney changed some things around.
I enjoyed what they changed about it, though.
And
yeah,
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I've said it before, like, but ultimately it begs the question: did we need a live action Snow White that changes the story?
Yes.
Okay. So in March. No, all right. Case dismissed. I rest. Defense rests, Your Honor.
I am the target audience.
You are.
This.
I forgot.
I'm gonna be sitting and I'll you know me. I'm gonna get the bucket. I'm gonna get the popcorn bucket for it.
Great.
I'll get the drink
apple.
with Rachel Zegler's face on it.
Have fun with that.
Keep going.
Well, you know what, Kevin? Laugh all you want.
Yep.
Because
I
April
will.
4th, the movie that I know
I
you
thought you
are
were about
just...
to say April 1st. All right, keep going.
Not quite. It would be funny if this movie was coming out on April 1st. The movie that I have been dying to talk about the trailer, a Minecraft movie.
Looks
awful.
I don't know.
Abysmal.
Here's okay.
Terrible. I can't wait.
I love Legos, right? Love Legos. Love Legos. Love the concept that makes up what makes Minecraft amazing to begin with, right? Love Legos. Don't care for Minecraft. In the essence that like other people can show me like the worlds that they built and I'm like, that's amazing. I hope.
Yeah.
Wow. Great.
It's like showing a Lego
Love
kit
it.
to somebody.
Yeah. Exactly. I will always be like, cool, great, I'm supportive. But then there's like a whole culture of like let's play around Minecraft, and I feel like that's what this movie's trying to cash in on, and that is not me. It's not for me. So pass.
No,
that's
the
Just
thing
not for
about
me.
the movie that like kind of, I don't want to say bothers me, but like the cast.
Yeah.
It's Jack Black, Jermaine Clement, Jennifer Coolidge, Kate McKinnon, Jason Momoa, the girl from Peacemaker. There's like so many good people in it.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, I think I've become a little jaded on Jack Black. Like I can't enjoy him the same way. I don't know if it's because I'm starting to see that he is the same in every movie, or if maybe his humor isn't for me anymore. But like I realized recently, like he just doesn't do it for me anymore. And I gotta be honest, like this Minecraft movie, I'm gonna see it.
Yeah,
it looks really bad.
I think if nothing else, I will be delighted if it's just another movie, much like the most recent Fast and the Furious, where Jason Momoa is just having the time of his life.
Jason Momoa makes me want to see that movie.
That to me is rewarding. Watching Jason Momoa be anything other than Khal Drogo and just having the time of his life while doing it. It's like when John Hamm started doing comedies. Like you're like, wait, that's Don Draper from Mad Men. He's not being serious and moody and misogynistic. He's actually funny and interesting. Great. I love it. Like, yeah.
In April as well, we get the movie that it was supposed to come out in January. It's been pushed. an actor who I have been really enjoying, Robert Pattinson, is in Bong Joon-ho's new Mickey 17 movie in April. Who did Parasite.
Cool, yeah.
So just a quick plot of it is, and there's a full-length trailer for this. I, however, am not going to watch anything about this movie because it's just got two people that I absolutely love. You know what I mean?
Well, and with a Bong Joon-ho film, you shouldn't anyway. Because
here's the description of the movie.
Why spoil one of those? They're so good.
The plot summary is one sentence. It's Mickey 17, known as Expendable, goes on a dangerous journey to colonize an ice planet. I'm in.
Wait,
it's
he's
Batman.
part of Sylvester Stallone's group.
Yeah, he's part of it's Expendables 5.
Bong Joon-ho does a secret Expendables film. Now that's an April Fool's joke.
That would be incredible. Right. Also in April, we're supposed to get The Accountant 2, which is a J.K. Simmons, Ben Affleck, John Bernthal, and the girl from Pitch Perfect was in it. What's her name? Anna Kendrick. And the first Accountant movie
was pretty good.
I like it. It's I think I'm a huge John Bernthal fan, and I realized something about him. I was looking for a movie where he's the lead to watch. Yeah. He's really only ever been the lead in TV shows, and then he's always been like a secondary, third, or fourth character in movies. He's never really had a leading role.
I like John Bernthal. I'd like to see more diversity in acting out of him. I feel like there's a part of him that we haven't tapped into, and that's not our fault.
I think he can do comedies really well.
I think so too.
I think he would
be really good at a comedy.
My favorite story from him is he did a mini series, super, super good, about the Baltimore, Maryland police task force that was in charge of I think it was guns or whatever. It's called We Own This City. And he plays a corrupt cop. It's a group of corrupt cops. It's a real life story. It's incredible. And he tells this story about while filming, they were in Baltimore, and this guy runs up to him and I don't know if he tackled him or hit him or whatever. And he's in a Baltimore police uniform. And so John Bernthal thought that they were filming. So he's like, oh, if this guy's going to hit me for real, I'm going to hit him for real. So he fucking clocked him hard, sent him to the ground. Real police officers show up. The guy that he was that hit him stood up and goes, hey man, you're a real G. And then the guy gets arrested. The dude just robbed a store and John Bernthal fucking punched him in the face.
Whoa.
Woo! Love that. The Punisher.
That's wild.
The Punisher wearing a police officer's uniform stopped a real life robbery.
That's wild.
Incredible.
That's some Matrix shit right there. All right.
Yeah. Accountant 2, I really definitely want to watch that if it actually comes out.
Okay.
Moving
cool.
into May.
Yep.
Thunderbolts Asterisk.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah. I mean,
Smash.
It looks good, and
Hulk
I
smash.
love Sebastian Stan. I love Florence
fucking
Pugh.
Same. I love Sebastian Stan. I love Florence Pugh. Yes, thank you. I'm in.
Yeah.
You don't have to say anything else. I'll just watch them.
Did you ever see The Apprentice?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
I liked it.
All right, cool.
Let's see what else we've got coming out in May. I don't recognize a lot of these.
I think, the Thunderbolts, let's be real, it's Marvel's proper Suicide Squad, really.
Well, that's what the Thunderbolts are. Really.
Yeah. They're the proper Marvel Suicide Squad. So it's a little bit late, but as long as they don't do it with the whole this is our version of the Suicide Squad. As long as there's not a brief that's if you die, we don't care, and we'll write you off, and as long as it's not that, and the stakes are set up with hey, you guys are actually capable and could do this thing, but we don't believe in you. Fuck you. That's cooler.
Here's
to me.
Here's what I need personally from Marvel with Captain America 4 to get me back on board to watch through the next two Avengers movies. I need them to start, and this is again, I'm going to be a little picky here.
Yeah.
But I need them to start putting in the seeds for what's going to come down the road. Start weaving that thread that they did before, while also keeping each movie contained to its own story.
Yeah. Who's that guy who played Negan?
Oh, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I think
they missed an opportunity to get him to play Red Hulk.
I think he can still show up in this.
Ford is too old.
Harrison Ford did this because he was everybody else is having fun with this. I'm going to have fun with this.
I love that he's doing that, and I love that for Harrison Ford, but all I'm thinking about is, the next phases, and, if this character's popular, he dies or becomes, there's something in the contract that just makes him CGI Red Hulk forever. Mm-hmm. I'm just like, you could have done Jeffrey Dean Morgan,
But
and we could have gotten years out of this. Like,
save Jeffrey Dean Morgan for I would
For what?
I would save him. Okay, he might be too old for this now.
for the Celestials 2 or whatever, the Eternals 2. No,
God, no. I don't know. One of these days we should do an episode of like who's not in Marvel and we should fan cast them or something.
Oh yeah, fan casting Marvel would be hilarious. I would bring some great.
We should
picks,
do Marvel
honestly.
and DC because there's a lot more options for DC.
Rachel Zegler all the no.
Rachel Zegler. Okay.
So many Marvel movies with Rachel Zegler.
Also in May, we're not done. We've got live action Lilo and Stitch.
Okay, cool.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm an intriguing smash.
I
me,
will
sir.
watch that because I've said it before and I'll say it again. Billy Magnuson, fucking love that guy.
Yeah,
he's in it.
An intriguing smash for me.
We've got Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
An obligatory smash.
And then
it's the last one. You gotta go. You gotta go.
Oh, I'm gonna go.
And you gotta see it in IMAX. Like, there's no if you like any of the Mission Impossible movies and you don't go see the final one in IMAX, you have like disrespected the franchise.
I agree.
You know? Yeah. All right.
And then lastly in May, we have Karate Kid's Legends, which is going to merge the Ralph Macchio Karate Kid with that Jackie Chan one he did with Will Smith's son. And they found a new Karate Kid.
Pass in theaters, smash on streaming.
Honestly, because do we have to watch all of that Karate Kid TV show, Cobra Kai?
No.
Okay, good. I'm not going to watch any of it. I'm not a Karate Kid fan.
Pass in theaters, smash on streaming. For sure. I will. That's like a Sunday night. There's no current TV show that I want to watch. Let's turn it on. Right? That's what that is.
Check it out. But
yep.
June, we have Ballerina, which is the John Wick spinoff with Ana de Armas.
Pass.
It's set in between John Wick 3 and 4, so before he dies or doesn't die, depending. Also in June, we have the live-action How to Train Your Dragon. I am stoked for that one. It looks really good.
Okay.
Have you ever seen the original?
No.
So good. Also in June, 28 years later, is supposed to come out. Danny Boyle, Cillian Murphy, Aaron Taylor-Johnson.
I need to see a trailer before I... undecided.
Agreed.
Yep.
Mathregan 2.0 is supposed to come out in June of next year.
Wait, June?
Apparently.
Pass in June, smash in the fall.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Also,
spooky season smash.
Jurassic World Rebirth comes out in July.
Hard pass. The hardest pass.
I was talking to a buddy about that actually last night playing Helldivers.
Yeah.
And Scarlett Johansson
is in it?
Is the lead.
Big pass.
I just don't like anything about this.
I've not enjoyed a ScarJo film in a long time.
Anyways, okay, July.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Superman.
James Gunn's?
Yeah.
Smash.
Oh, that might be my most anticipated movie next year so far.
Most intriguing.
Well, wait, not
sure.
most anticipated. Most interested in seeing, maybe?
Most intriguing for me,
yeah,
for
intriguing.
sure. Yeah, like I'm interested to see how this is done because we got Superman previously with the person who would have been like the perfect fucking Superman ever, and DC fumbled the bag. So, and now he's doing Warhammer, which is going to be infinitely better anyway. But I'm intrigued.
I like the cast and I like James Gunn. So
I want to see how James Gunn takes a famously patriotic black and white superhero and makes him something different.
I think he's going to do really good at that.
I think so too.
Also in July, we have the I Know What You Did Last Summer Legacy sequel.
Smash. Wait,
really?
July?
Yeah.
Pass in July, smash in the fall.
Are you a fan of the original?
Oh, the original? Hell yeah. The first one? Come on.
Yes, I believe this is supposed to be a direct sequel to the original, when was that, 80s?
Oh, hell yeah.
Not 80s.
No,
I
it's,
haven't seen it.
90s.
I
It's
will
like
watch
90s.
it, and then maybe we'll go see
Or
this one
early
together.
2000s, maybe.
Oh, we're gonna see a lot of these together, Kevin.
Late 90s. I know. I'm excited. All right,
Um,
so
and then
on
we can
that
go see
in
the
fall.
Smurfs movie. We can do a double feature on July 18th. We can go see I Know What You Did Last Summer, and then follow it up with the Smurfs movie.
I did not see the first Smurfs movie, so I'll
This is
pass
a new
on
one.
that,
We're
too.
good. It's new.
Who's in that?
The new
Is
Smurfs
Colin Farrell
movie,
the bad guy in that?
The new one is a completely like new movie,
Oh,
and it's got
no.
the owner of the football team from Lasso, Ted Lasso, the owner, British lady.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And Kurt Russell is in it, and John Goodman, and Dan Levy, and Octavia Spencer, and Nick Kroll, and Billy Lord, and Nick Offerman. Holy shit, this cast is stacked.
Well, yeah, the Smurfs always get like a
Rihanna,
crazy
Sandra
ensemble. Yeah, they always get a crazy ensemble voice cast,
Oh.
but like it's sounding like it's going to be everything I think it's going to be, which is just like reference after
I don't want
reference
it.
after reference. So
I'm not
like
gonna watch
pass.
it. I've never seen a Smurfs movie. I was kidding.
The Smurfs thing is always just like it's a reference because like it was a show that it was like one of those shows that was like not to like it was one of those shows that was like the same as every other show that was in that archetype, right? So like you had these shows, and I remember even as a kid, like they were all learning the same lessons. It was just rotating which cartoon was learning which lesson every week.
Yeah.
You know, because like you had the Smurfs and you had like Fraggle Rock and you had like all those kids shows where it was like the lesson we learned this week is don't mistreat your friends, and then like the lesson we learned this week was you gotta share, and that's how we tackled the big problem this week. And the lesson we learned this week was maybe if you make a cake it might get destroyed. Like
Don't
that
let
was
it bring
like
you down.
and so like you're dipping into this franchise that was so fucking not deep but like you're diving into the shallow end, basically. You're literally looking at like 3 feet of water and going, that's perfect for a swan right now.
There's too
like,
many Smurfs movies.
exactly. So, all right.
But
going.
I lied. I think I might be more intrigued in this movie instead of Superman.
Hit me.
Fantastic Four: First Steps. Now, I will
Pass.
That's fair.
So many passes.
So when it comes to comic book characters, one of my favorite, like, of all time has always been and probably will always be. Can you guess?
Fantastic Four.
No, but Fantastic Four.
Johnny Storm. Flame on.
Well, the Fantastic Four as a like
The
individually as characters, they're not that interesting, but I do like them as a team.
Okay.
And I really loved the original Fantastic Four movie from the early 2000s when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I have been waiting for a good Fantastic Four movie for a really long time. And I love everything about this cast.
Okay.
So I'm like, maybe this will be good, but we'll see.
This is the one where Robert Downey Jr. is going to be Victor Von Doom.
I'm assuming he'll show up as like a post credits.
Because they did that reveal that he's Victor Von Doom, right?
Yes.
And here's the thing. I feel like if the movie was strong enough to stand on its own without that having to be teased last year, it like without casting RDJ, if the movie was strong enough to stand on its own, we wouldn't have gotten RDJ. Right? So like
Yeah.
I'm looking at it and like as soon as he was revealed, I'm like, oh, so that movie's probably not that good, huh? 'Cause
he wasn't
you need to
revealed-
get people to show up.
He wasn't revealed for Fantastic Four. Actually, it's not even confirmed.
I know he was revealed, but he is the Fantastic Four villain. That's the thing. As soon as they showed that, I was like, okay, this is like the classic. This is the Joker for the Fantastic Four. He is like it. That's just how it is in the comics. Like
absolutely,
he is the Saturday morning special cartoon villain that shows up most regularly for the Fantastic Four. So for me, I'm like, to reveal that means that you don't have enough confidence in this storyline or this universe or the fact that people would even want to show up to it to just launch it with someone unknown, or lesser known.
One thing I would say about that is just that when he was announced, it was for the Avengers movies. As far as we know, the plot for Fantastic Four: First Steps was always Galactus and Silver Surfer because they announced the Galactus casting a long time ago.
Is Silver Surfer in this one?
Yeah, it's Silver Surfer Galactus, which
Oh, I'm into that. Okay.
I would normally agree with you where I'm like, I would rather it have been, personally, I wanted Cillian Murphy to be Doctor Doom, and I wanted it to be, he should be a Fantastic Four villain, but I think what they're doing with this, because it's Robert Downey Jr., I don't think Victor Von Doom is going to be as much of a Fantastic Four villain as much as it's going to be like a
Marvel villain.
I think
Thanos.
he's going to tie him. I think they're going to tie him into anybody that's left from the original Avengers. So like Spider-Man, Thor, Hawkeye. We'll see Tony.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see him crushing the original Avengers. That would be
so
sick.
I agree that I would have preferred it to be like a simple Fantastic Four Doctor Doom story. Maybe at the end Doctor Doom like beats them and then he creates Battle World or something. Like heroes can lose in these movies. That's okay.
Yeah, that would be okay.
But at the same time, like, because I still like everything that's going on with the Fantastic Four movie, I'm hopeful, but we'll see. It's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah.
You know what? Fantastic Four is the one I'm most curious to see people's reactions to.
Yeah, I think it's. I hope it's more original than not. Let me just put it that way. Yeah.
Speaking of original, in August, we're moving into August now.
Hit me.
We get the Naked Gun Legacy sequel, where Liam Neeson plays the original guy's son.
Wait. Liam Neeson
is playing Leslie Nelson's character's
Okay, come on,
son.
that's pretty funny already.
Oh,
I'm in. Yeah,
listen,
smash.
So Liam Neeson was the subject of the Ice Road, which is the new Magnum Opus video up this weekend.
I saw that. I remember when I saw that movie, I'm like, you've revealed the entire plot of the movie. Is the plot of the movie an icy road? Is it?
It's Ice Road Truckers fan fiction.
It is. It really is. All right.
And I think Liam Neeson can be really funny. Like, he shows up in Ted and Ted 2 for like a quick moment.
Yeah,
he does it in like A Million Ways to Die in the West. Like, he can be funny.
I would like to see him be funny.
Me too. Because I'm tired of seeing him be an old man who barely punches people.
You mean the old patriot who barely punches people but is always thwarting some sort of international threat that's like an analogy for something that white men are actually afraid of?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Also, we get The Bad Guys 2, which is an animated movie. I haven't seen the first.
I liked the voice cast for this because I saw... Yeah. Like, wild voice cast.
Yes.
Yeah. Seems
also
good.
in August, we get the Freaky Friday sequel with Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis. Pass. Yeah, pass.
Very quick on that.
We're getting a Nobody 2.
Pass.
Apparently. I don't see how that's even possible.
Pass.
Moving into September, we have another Conjuring movie.
Pass.
Yeah, pass. Downton Abbey 3.
Pass?
We also get Saw 11.
Fucking pass. Keep going.
I'm scrolling. We're in
Let's
October.
not even talk about this.
We're in October now. This is where it gets scarce. Tron 3 with fucking
pass.
What's the guy's name? Jared Leto.
Jared Leto. Pass.
Awful.
Yeah.
We're getting a sequel to The Black Phone.
He
died at the end of that. Spoiler alert for The Black Phone.
What the spoiler alert for The Black Phone, the movie that no one saw.
He beat him to death with it.
Jesus Christ.
That's Scott Derrickson who did the first Doctor Strange movie. Wait, is this the one I think it is? Hang on, I want to click on this one. Okay, there is a horror movie coming out called The Watchers, and it is
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, it's a guy who basically did the Do You Like Scary Movies podcast, Aiden something or another.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is like his first one. I'm not gonna lie, it looks kind of interesting.
Looks intriguing. Yeah.
I'm always down for like a new director kind of breakout. Like,
Same. Did
you watch that Amazon show with Markiplier?
No.
It's on my watch list. I really want to watch that.
All right, cool. Yeah, check it out. I told you I've never seen anything else that Markiplier's done. Literally nothing his entire career. I've seen nothing other than him telling me whether or not he would have sex with any and all Pokemon.
Oh, this is interesting. We're getting so Prey. Did you ever see Prey?
Yeah.
With Amber Midthunder. Okay, so we are getting a Prey 2, but
yes.
that's not
different
the
setting, different.
This is not the Predator movie coming out next year. Apparently, in October, or November, there's a movie with Ellie Fanning called Predator Badlands, which is still inside the Predator universe, but not a sequel to Prey. I'm for it. Look, I think
no. This is like it's not a sequel to Prey, but it's in the same line.
It's gonna
of
be
that,
the same
where it's like
timeline
the
as
Predator.
like,
Yeah. I'm with you on this. Yeah, I'm in. Smash.
It's the way that they're doing Aliens. Like,
yeah.
Give me Prey, like Prey set in like, Native American culture of America.
Yeah.
Give me that one. Give me
that was sick.
Dude, give me a Predator behind enemy lines in World War II. Give me a Predator
That
in
was
Roman
sick.
times. Give me a Predator give me a Predator across all fucking timelines.
100%. Yeah. Just drop the Predator on Earth at a different point in time,
Yes.
and like have him fighting fucking samurai. Like that's fucking great.
Like
you
they
know
did
what
in the
this
Predators
is?
movie.
It's there was that show on like TLC for a while that was like the greatest warriors or whatever, and it was always like who would win in a fight, a samurai or a Spartan warrior. This is what that
Epic
is,
rap
just
battles.
with the Predator.
Yeah.
It's like who beats the Predator and how. Like
Yeah.
I like that.
I think that, this is what I think. Predator should do this, where you just plop a Predator wherever, right?
Yes.
And then, you can even go a step further, be like, prop a Predator in all these timelines, and then take the main character and be like, the Predator froze you, and then have all the main characters come together in the future or whatever. But like, that's what they should do for Predator. And then for Alien, keep doing what they did with like Romulus, which I finally got to see. Like, keep
amazing.
Thank
you.
Alien Earth.
Yeah, it looks good.
Anyways, okay. Yes.
So the only problem this franchise would run into if you keep just dropping the Predator into a different point in time is eventually we start asking the question, why do they keep getting dropped in the exact place where one person can beat them?
True.
Why do they? Are they just the most unlucky predators of the Predator bunch? Like,
well, like the one from Prey is like a younger novice Predator.
Yes, but the whole thing is like, why do they keep getting dropped in exactly the right time and place for some person, a human, to beat them? Even though they're like the greatest hunters in the galaxy. Every time they get dropped on Earth, they're like, and like eventually you're asking the question, have they not learned to not do this? Like,
you'd think.
Is this why they're obsessed with Earth and killing humans? Because they've just had such bad luck over time? Like, drop 2 and have 1 survive, like
yeah,
something. Anyway. All right. Keep going.
Now You See Me 3?
Pass. No, pass. Don't even talk about it.
Did
Move
you not
on.
like the first 2?
No, move on.
But Ariana Greenblatt's in it.
A vehement pass.
Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter. Harry Potter's playing a magician, Kevin.
Pass.
Wicked Part 2.
Oh, yeah, smash. Hard smash.
And also, that comes out the same weekend as the Glenn Powell, Josh Brolin Running Man remake.
Pass.
Yeah. Well, let me
Nope.
see a trailer.
Pass.
Also in November, we have Zootopia 2.
Pass.
I like the first one.
Yeah, me too, but pass.
We also get, and then, the last movie on this list for December of next year is Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Pass.
Smash.
Okay. That's great. I just don't care about the lore.
You should watch my lore video. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't care about it. I literally don't. Like, I feel like it was a jump scare video game that could have been like a great jump scare video game franchise by itself, never having anything else. You don't need it, right? And then all of a sudden everybody's like, well, why don't we do
it started off as a Christian point and click game.
Exactly. And look here, unneeded. Pass.
And that's it. For movies.
Those are the movies, baby. Let's not go over TV shows because we got to cover some shit.
I don't have that
That's
list. And I don't watch enough
Alien
TV
Earth
shows.
is coming out, and that looks good. That's all I need, right? Oh,
Yeah.
Dunk and Egg is coming out next year. Honorable mention. It's a TV show, Game of Thrones universe. It's Sir Duncan the Tall and Aegon, Prince Aegon, who very famously was in the Game of Thrones original show. Fucking amazing. Like, this story is... It's the Game of Thrones equivalent to Boba Fett. Like the fans have like expanded like the idea of what this could be, but it also, they haven't like, there's nothing like super official written into the lore yet. So like this is a really good moment for Game of Thrones, the universe, to go, hey, here's a thing that you guys really happened to like in the books that really was only kind of mentioned on the side in the, because like in the original Star Wars, like they're just like Darth Vader goes up to Boba Fett and he's like, and no disintegration or whatever, right?
Yeah.
What does he say? He says
no
like,
disintegrations.
Yeah, he's like, none of that. And like people are like, whoa, he's a badass, right? That's what Dunk and Egg is. They're like, whoa, this is like a really cool story that we could get into. So I'm interested to see, because it also has no, in my mind, it doesn't have as large an implication on the rest of the story. So you don't have to worry about it being like, and here's a little name drop that you might,
yeah.
like we'll get some of that, but it won't be all that, So I feel like it's rife for good development in a fantasy universe that I already know and love.
That's good. Okay, yeah. Real quick, though, there actually is some TV shows. I looked up a quick list. I don't want to talk about any of these, but just some mentions that I think you would like to. Welcome to Derry.
Yes.
Bill Skarsgård's coming back for that.
I'm in.
Severance Season 2.
I'm in.
The Last of Us Season 2.
Smash.
The Bear Season 4.
Smash.
Daredevil Born Again.
Smash.
Those are the ones that I like.
This is a great list.
Yeah, those are the ones real quick when I was scrolling through. I was
wow,
like,
what a banger list you just handed me. Is that all the shows coming out next year? I love it.
Yeah.
Shogun Season 2 should be next year, too.
Sweet.
Yeah, so big smash on that.
Yeah.
Have you seen that yet?
No, it's on my long list of things.
You and your magnum opus. And your bad movies.
Me and
getting paid to review bad movies. Yeah. you earning your living on YouTube is really fucking up us watching the same shows, Odie. How dare you?
I'm trying, Kevin.
I will only give you shit for not watching the cool shit now.
Listen,
this becomes our friendship. It's just
fair.
me going, have you seen this good thing yet? And you're
No.
like, not yet.
Have you seen this bad thing?
Yeah, and I'm like, no.
Did you want to watch? Did
you hear me
Argyle?
say pass on the Smash Pass? What?
Do you want to watch Argyle with me?
Yeah, sure. Actually, yeah.
No.
Wait, the movie?
No,
yeah, no, I do.
Argyle was terrible.
Yeah, I know. I do want to watch it though. It's terrible, but it's also got Sam Rockwell and Henry Cavill
guess what?
in it.
I had to buy it in order to watch it. So if you want to watch it, let me know, because now I own the movie fucking Argyle.
Yeah, let's do it. Fuck it, let's do it. Anyway. All right, I had a couple things I want to talk about, but we are well into an hour here. I mean, we crushed it with this. I don't. Do you want to talk?
Do you want to wait until Skeleton Crew is like over and do like a recap of it?
Yeah, kind of do.
Yeah, because I want to watch it.
Here's the little bit that I was really gonna bring up.
The Spark Notes version of what you got.
We've only gotten a couple episodes into two shows that are developing out into franchises the way that I've described I wanted things to be developed out into franchises. And that's like, I kind of gave you like my spiel forever ago when we were talking about Star Wars. I want to see non-Jedi stories, like like Jedi light stories or Force light stories, right? And Andor crushed it. Dune Prophecy is crushing it. Like and then Skeleton Crew, so far it's Goonies in space and it's crushing it. Like, man. It's so good.
I fucking love Jude Law.
Same here. I love Jude Law for
did you see?
Sure. One of my favorite actors.
Sorry, because we talked about Marvel and we talked about Jude Law. He came out and he said, he was like, yeah, I had a lot of ideas on how my Marvel villain could have like had more depth and be portrayed, and all my ideas got shot down, and I'm not super happy with how I'm included in that universe.
Oh, because he was
Yon-Rogg.
Which is like a good villain too.
He would have been.
I think, unfortunately, I've been watching the franchise, and I think they did a really poignant way of describing how those movies were handled. They have
the franchise
this producer,
is so good.
Well, they have this producer guy come in who's like, yeah, we have a woman problem again.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, and that episode, the woman problem, described how Marvel approached the woman problem in my mind. Like maybe not 100% accurately, because it's a fucking comedy show. Like, so don't take it too literally. But like, he was like, yeah, we just, it's female led, female acted, female this, and we just put all our eggs in one basket, and the fans hated it, and that was great. We solved it for a while. Like, everybody shut up. And I was like, that's what it feels like they did with Captain Marvel. They were just like, and Wonder Woman too. Like, I feel like they were just like, yeah, let's just throw Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot and all this stupid shit, and all the messaging will be woman, 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 instead of just being a dynamic story that happens to be a woman.
And I was gonna say, like, the first Captain Marvel, I think actually did a pretty good job of not going too much into the like woman side of it. It was when everything that came after it kind of ruined it. Because, I mean, say what you want, the first Captain Marvel movie, it made over $1 billion.
Yeah.
And then the Marvels, which was the all women led Marvel movie, you know, it is the lowest performing Marvel movie of all time. And if you look at the difference between those two, it's because, you know, Captain Marvel, I don't know, like, I feel like I actually kind of like Captain Marvel as a movie, but either way, Jude Law was not done properly in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree.
But yeah, Skeleton Crew, sorry.
So these franchises, Dune Prophecy is doing something that I love, where they're not hammering you over the head with this is a female-led show. They're just like, this is.
I didn't even know it was.
It's it's about the Bene Gesserit, the sisterhood,
that makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
Specifically, and what I love in the beginning, and this is not a spoiler, they drop their names like immediately. The leads, two of the leads in the show are Harkonnens, so they're from the family that in the first two Dune movies is perceived as the bad family.
Yeah, the villain.
But it's not. It doesn't feel 100% like a villain arc show. But at the same time, you know that the Bene Gesserit is not like the force that, you know, you might think that it is from the outside, because they're these advisors and they have a separate agenda and they're into eugenics and shit. So it is a villain arc show, but it also, like, from a character perspective, isn't necessarily a villain arc show. It's kind of a vengeance story, and like just the way that they're doing it without hammering you over the head with all of the things going on, I think is fucking phenomenal. And not only that, if you look up the cast is impeccable. It's fucking every week I'm just amazed by the performances that people are laying down on this show. And then I would say, apart from that, one other honorable mention, because I finished watching the second episode. I only had like 10 minutes left. And then I went to watch the third episode and realized that this is only coming out every week. The Creature Commandos show.
Oh, yeah.
Has, once again, the cast is fucking impeccable. The story is awesome and hilarious and fun. It's very James Gunn. And because it's animated, much like it, this is one of those things where, like, if it had a live action, I would be saying should have been an anime, but instead it's an animated show. It done a la like Saturday morning cartoons of the late 90s, early 2000s. Nice. The style's great, and the shit that happens in the show is fucking hilarious. I love the character of Flag and how he's the straight man in this group of like, and like in the beginning they handle it right away. They're like, Amanda Waller's like, we're not allowed to use humans anymore. These aren't humans. Like, just right off the rip, here's your new Suicide Squad. Why is it not the Suicide Squad? Because it's not humans. How could we call it the Suicide Squad if it's not humans? But they brought in Weasel. Sean Gunn's crushing it. He
David
also
Harbour, Frank Grillo is Flag.
Yes, he plays a robot that's obsessed with killing Nazis to the point of literally never stopping talking
US
about
Commando
killing
is
Nazis.
His name, I think.
Yeah, or GI
Commando or
GI
whatever.
Commando or GI Robot or whatever it is. He is fucking hilarious. There's a moment in the first episode where everyone's going to bed and he's standing outside of someone's rooms talking about how many Nazis he killed in each battle in World War II, like ad nauseum. It's fucking hilarious.
I'm putting it on my watch list. I'm gonna watch that today.
It's so good. Well, yeah, and it's 2 23-minute episodes. It's so quick. And I'm glad that it's coming out every week, because it's like, all right, cool. That's a half an hour. Like there's so much coming out all the time that, like, if something's an hour-long show, I literally will look at it twice and be like, I don't know that I have an hour now. But do I have 20 minutes?
With a lot of these shows.
Yes. Yeah. So it's like, I don't have 45 minutes for an episode all the time anymore. No. Like, but I've got 20. Like, if you want to give me 20 every week, that's great. So I do love that that's happening. Skeleton Crew, same thing. It's a half an hour format, real short, real quick, real quippy. Absolutely amazing. The only thing I'll say about it, because we'll do a larger recap in like later, is the show starts out with two very lovable kids who have they're in the Star Wars universe, but the show literally opens up on one of the main characters playing with a Jedi action figure. Like, so good. And then he walks out onto his home planet, which looks like a Star Wars suburbia, and you're like, this doesn't exist in Star Wars. What is this? It looks like Earth and Star Wars cross together. And then as the as episode 2 continues, you find out why it doesn't exist in the Star Wars universe. It's fucking so good. And the kid actors are absolutely great. Everything that they've done so far, so good. I'm loving it. You know, short guest appearance by Steve Urkel, amazing. And then the Jude Law appearance at the end of first off, Jude Law shows up in episode 1 and you're like, what is going on here? This is wild. And it has like a really good funny payoff. He's literally in like the first scene of episode 1, and then episode 2 he's in the last scene. So he bookends the first 2 episodes of the premiere, which I kind of love because it's not a lot of him, and I hope it continues that way. I hope he's a supporting character for these larger, more cartoony kid characters that like I'm loving watching. Like it's fulfilling part of me that like loves those kid stories that we grew up with, like the Goonies and like Jumanji and stuff like that. Like it's making me like, it's bringing back that feeling. So there is a little bit of nostalgic bias to it, but I think ultimately, as long as it continues with like this fun loving kind of more adventurous vein of storytelling, I'm just gonna enjoy it. That's it. That's all I got on that.
I'm very excited to watch it.
I hope you do watch it. I hope you watch that and Creature Commandos.
I have a long list of things to watch. I have Shogun, Bear Season 3 I still haven't gotten to.
I haven't watched Bear Season 3 either.
I have Creature Commandos, Dune Prophecy. There's a couple others out there.
Well, good news. You only have to watch one at a time. Or you could watch 2 at a time and drive yourself insane. And sit down and be like, so, you know, the cooking scene in Dune Prophecy is just when they're trying to open up the restaurant in Dune Prophecy.
No, thank you.
The food critic episode of Dune Prophecy. All right. Yeah, so good storytelling through and through on each of those shows. All very different, all very good. I'm enjoying that there's also only 1 episode a week. And what's your jam?
I knew you were about to ask me that. I was just trying to bring it up before you asked me. So I am really excited to talk. I think it's going to be the last thing we talk about this year is going to be our music of the year. And I am extremely excited because so many good albums and EPs and singles and new artists have come out this year. An artist that I discovered earlier this year called Miles Smith released it's not an EP, but it's a very small album. I think it's like 8 tracks called A Minute.
Yep.
And it's just phenomenal. Like it's just such a nice it's got a nice mix of like uplifting to like it's okay to be sad to like uplifting to like it's okay to be sad, and it's just like it's a really good little 8-track thing that I've been been putting on repeat.
Hell yeah.
So
that's cool. My jam this week is I realized that I have not been jamming a ton of R&B this year because my Spotify Wrapped came out and it was like, you listened to a lot of metal, sir.
Can you guess who my number 1 on my Wrapped was?
Noah Kahn.
No, I'm wearing the sweatshirt.
Oh, Bad Omens? Bad Omens. That actually does surprise me.
That's my favorite band.
Yeah, but Noah Kahn's your favorite artist, period. So.
Well, it was Bad Omens, then Noah Kahn.
Oh, go figure. All right, cool. Very. I've seen the meme of like, it's like, oh, I'm so like opening up my Spotify Wrapped to find out it's the same 5 artists I've listened to literally all year.
Yeah, third was like, Sleep Token. So like, I said my third was Sleep Token. So
yeah,
like,
I mean,
I'm breaking some new ground here.
Mine was it was Idola.
Oh.
And then I think Sleep Token, which makes perfect
sense.
And then but then the bottom 3 were like Born of Osiris, Unprocessed, and Void of Vision, which are all like, I'm like, that's interesting that it's those 3. Like, I didn't think that I listened to them that much, but apparently I did. And I love Unprocessed.
I would have definitely picked Idola and Sleep Token in your top 3.
They're, top 2 easy. But then Void of Vision is like, not in this, it's in the same realm but not the same exact realm. Really good hardcore band though, metal but they have a lot of electronic shit going on the album that's cool. Anyway, my jam this week, Coltrane, artist Coltrane. His album Hamartia is so fucking good. I find myself in the mornings where I normally would be listening to like metal or something, I'm jamming that album now. And I also realized that I haven't listened to a lot of like R&B, so I'm kind of like leaning into that. I'm like, oh, I've kind of ignored a genre that I typically love this year. And so I've been leaning into that. And then there's another artist. She's from the UK. Her name's Veya, Veyaah.
I know Veya.
She released an EP that has a really great song called God Complex in it, which is like, it's got like a reggae vibe to it, but it's definitely just like an R&B pop banger. So I've been loving that. Like, she's phenomenal. And then last one, Dre Scott, who I think is like, Dre Scott is one of those voices that I think eventually people in the like R&B and pop community are going to be like, oh, it's that guy. Like, he's so good and he has such a beautiful voice. He's very like Maxwell from like the late 90s, early 2000s. He's got that huge falsetto range of like going up real high. And like, it's so beautiful. Yeah, it's almost like a whistle range. Like it's like in that real high pitch, but it's smooth, and he obviously was blessed with very good natural tone, you know, like from his genetics, but then has developed a style of singing that is just like absolutely phenomenal and killer. And he did a live session with 3 backup singers and a jazz band, and one of the backup singers is what is her name? She's one of the official backup singers when the Killers go on tour, and her voice is so good. And like the way that all 4 of them play off each other, when I listen to it, it's like that perfect early weekend morning sound of, I'll send it to you. It's so good.
Please.
It's like beautiful. Like, it really, like, it's like a lullaby, but it's not putting you to sleep.
See, that sounds like good music for editing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You would love it. Yeah.
Send it to me for sure.
And I am about to go to band practice right now, so I got to go sing some. This week, we're doing a couple new songs, but one of them is one of the harder songs that I've done. We're gonna cover "Sleeping with Sirens." If you can't hang, do you remember that song? It is so high.
Sleeping with Sirens. Yeah.
That like when, and here's a funny story before we call it quits. The guys in the band that I'm in right now, we all have like similar taste in music. So we're sending each other like these really awesome like math metal and like gent bands that we're never going to play. Like, you don't cover those live. Like, you just don't right now. Like, there's not an audience for that. There's not a big enough audience for it. Right. But they sent me, Dave, who's the drummer, he sent me a clip of Sleeping with Sirens doing If You Can't Hang on Audio Tree. And I was like, I didn't even listen to it. I was like, is this a challenge? Like, are you giving me a challenge to overcome? Because I will do this now. And I sat in my room and I jammed that. And then one of the other guitarists, Jeff, sent me Scarlet by Periphery, equally high. Like, both of these are very high range songs. And 2 or 3 weeks ago, I started practicing them. Last night, I sang both of them on the way home and felt very good about it and was like, wow, I didn't know that I could practice in this range. I also didn't know that I had this range at this age. Like, because usually at 37, you don't have that high range anymore. And so I'm like, all right, well, let's see how it is and how it's received. But like, fucking cool to dig back into that stuff. And like, speaking of nostalgic feeling, like,
oh yeah,
going to band practice every week, we're just like, we're all so giddy. It's like all these dudes in their 30s just like looking at each other, smiling, like, we did that song. That's cool. Like, big music nerds.
Love that.
Yep. Thanks. I'm glad that you love that. I love you.
I love you.
Oh my God, we've never said that on the podcast before.
I take it
now
back.
It's recorded forever.
Can you beep mine out?
No.
Oh.
Not that one.
Wait.
But I'll beep out the next thing you're going to say. It's beeped. Consider that beeped.